Hello students, how are you all? Are you okay? Take care of yourself and do your studies. Students, today I am going to start class 6 civics chapter 4 a democracy. As you know students that our chapter name is a democracy. Do you know what is democracy? People participation in the affairs of government is an important feature of democracy. People participate in election through which they choose their representative to form the government. This is known as democracy. Now, what is our study content? Our content is in this chapter. First is apartheid. Next, African National Congress. Next, Nelson Mandela. Next, people's participation in democracy. Next, conflicts. And last, equality and justice. Firstly, we will see what is apartheid. Have you heard before this apartheid? Apartheid was an official policy of discrimination based on skin color followed by the government of South Africa. The term apartheid means separateness or apartness in Afrikaans, a language spoken in South Africa. You know, students, due to apartheid, the rights of the majority of the dark skinned people of South Africa were curtailed. The white skinned people enjoyed all the rights and privileges. The dark skinned people were denied all rights and they were made to lead separate lives. There were separate neighborhoods, schools, hospitals, trains, and buses for the whites, and even the fertile farming lands were reserved for them. The dark skinned people did not even have the right to vote. You know, students, that this policy was widely criticized by countries around the world. Many countries served all contacts with South Africa and it was forced to withdraw from many international organizations. Students, apartheid means separation of people of a country on the basis of color, ethnicity, or race. Apartheid was officially practiced by the government of South Africa, which comprised of white settlers. South Africa was inhabited by the whites who came from Europe to settle there. The blacks who belonged to the country and the Indians and other races who went there for trade or as laborers. Apartheid as an official policy was introduced in South Africa after the general election of 1948. Now next topic is student ANC. ANC means its full form is African National Congress. The African National Congress is South Africa's governing party and has been in power since the transition to democracy in April 1994. The African National Congress is the current governing party of the Republic of South Africa. The ANC was founded in 1912 and it is the oldest liberation movement in Africa. The ANC was banned from 1960 to 1990 by the white South African government during these 3 decades. It operated underground and outside South African territory. The ban was lifted in 1990 and Nelson Mandela, the president of the ANC, was elected in 1994 to head South Africa. Have you heard about Nelson Mandela? Nelson Mandela. Our next topic is Nelson Mandela. He was a social rights activist, politician, and philanthropist who became South Africa's first black president from 1994 to 1999. After becoming involved in the anti-apartheid movement in his 20s, Mandela joined the African National Congress in 1942. He served as the president of the African National Congress ANC party from 1991 to 1947. Nelson Mandela is considered by many to be the father of South Africa. Mandela was an anti-apartheid activist, which means that fought for those who were disadvantaged by the system of racial segregation. Mandela became a civil rights leader, leading many against the apartheid movement. He wanted to help end this discrimination so that everyone could live freely and equally. In 1964, the leader of ANC, Nelson Mandela, was jailed for his non-violent anti-government activities. After a long struggle, apartheid was finally abolished in the 1990s. When the South African government released Mandela from prison after 27 years, the government changed many discriminatory laws. In 1994, general elections were held in South Africa, in which people from all races were allowed to vote. With his efforts, South Africa became a democratic country and all the people, irrespective of their races, began to be treated equally. Non-white South Africans were removed from their homes and forced into segregated neighborhoods. From 1960 to 1983, 3.5 million non-whites were removed from their homes. These races did not having voting rights. Black people were provided with services that were inferior to those of white people, and white minority carried out all kinds of atrocities on non-whites. In 1948, when government introduced apartheid, Nelson Mandela, along with his party, African National Congress, led a fight against it that lasted for more than 4 decades. He traveled all over South Africa and asked people to take part in non-violent demonstrations against the government racial segregation policies. He was arrested several times in his life. Mandela's imprisonment led to protests around the world. With his effort, South Africa became a democratic country, and all the people, irrespective of their races, began to be treated equally. He suffered a lot, students. Our next topic is democracy. Our next topic is democracy. Democracy is a form of government in which people are governed by their own elected representatives. It is a government of the people, for the people, and by the people. In this system of governance, it is the people who are supreme and sovereign. They control the government. They are free to elect a government of their own choice. Freedom of choice is the core principle of democracy. In democracy, people have the right to elect their leaders. People have the right to express their views freely about government policies and performance. The government is answerable and responsible to the people for its actions. You know, students, India is a democracy. It is ruled by the people. The people of India have the right to participate in the governance of the country. This is done by electing their representatives. All adult citizens of the country who are 18 years or above in age have the right to vote. That is why our country has a representative democracy. The role of the citizen is of great importance in a democracy. They have to know what they should expect from their elected representatives. Citizens should be aware of their rights as well as duties. They must have the capability and sincerely to elect their representatives. They should be able to understand whether the government is taking the right steps regarding their welfare. For this reason, it is important to acquire knowledge about current events and policy making through newspapers, radio, and television, as well as public meetings. As democracy allows its citizens to express their opinion in public, therefore the citizens have full right to freely criticize the government. If they feel that it is not discharging its duties properly, but their way of opposing the government must be lawful. They should not use violence or create disorder for their purpose. The government, on the other hand, should give due respect to the views of the people speaking out against it. Some citizens feel that their vote will not make any difference to the outcome. But if they do not involve themselves in the electoral process, dishonest and self seeking candidates are likely to get elected. Hence, the citizens must exercise their right to vote in a proper way. Voting is the right as well as the duty of a citizen in a democracy. Every adult must vote, rising above personal gains or consideration of caste, color, community, region, or gender to choose the best candidate. People participation in the affairs of government is an important feature of democracy. Apart from election, people also participate in the process of governance by other means as well. They can hold protest, march and rallies if they feel that a particular policy of the government is against their interest. Public protest by distributing pamphlets, holding meetings and rallies, performing street plays and dharnas. Sometimes protests get violent where people destroy vehicles or property owned by the government to protest against government policies. Employees organizations sometimes go on strikes and refuse to work to fulfill some of their demands. A protest is called a demonstration. It is a public expression of objectives, disapproval, or dissent towards an idea or action. Protest can take many different forms, from individual statement to manned demonstrations. Protesters may organize a protest as a way of publicly making their opinions heard in an attempt to influence public opinion, government policy, or they may undertake direct action in an attempt to enact desired changes themselves. The principle of public participation holds that those who are affected by a decision have a right to be involved in the decision making process. Public participation is similar to but more inclusive than stakeholders' engagement. Public participation may be regarded as a form of empowerment and as vital part of democratic governance. People participation and involvement is an important factor for the successful implementations of any rural development activities, especially in decision-making implementations, monitoring evaluations, and sharing the benefits of the development programs. People participation and involvement is necessary. Rally or demonstration or similar protest without reference to marching or walking in a picket line. Protests are often held against things like a nation involvement in a war or specific government policies or form of injustice. For example, I want to tell you students the CAA. CAA. Have you heard about this? CAA. CAA full form is Citizenship Amendment Act Bill. Protest. Also, it is also known as CAA protest or CAB protest occurred after the Citizenship Amendment Act. It was enacted by the Government of India on 12 December 2019. The more sparked a widespread national and overseas ongoing protest against the Act and its associated proposals of the National Register of Citizens (NRC). The protest was began in Assam and spread swiftly in other states. Protests broke out rapidly across the country, although the concern of the protesters varied. Have you heard about student signature campaign? What is signature campaign? To support against any reform of law or any public issue by collecting million signature sign in majority is called signature campaign. Signature campaign are also a form of protest where people collect signatures on a particular issue and submit them to the government in the form of a man appeal. Groups of people also organize themselves into social movements to draw attention of the government and the masses towards issues relating to environment, social inequality, etc. The Narmada Bachao Andolan and Chipko movement are some examples of social movements. Signature campaigns are also a form of protest where people collect signatures on a particular issue and submit them to the government in the form of a mass appeal. You know, students, media also play an important role in ensuring people's participation. Newspaper, television channels and radio report highlights important issues to keep people informed about the various developments and issues of key concern. They try to be impartial in their views so that people are able to form their own opinions and judgment. Media sometimes organize group discussions among citizens to know their opinion on a particular issue. Sometimes questionnaires with various questions are circulated among the people. The response to these people to understand the sentiments of the people. Student, our next topic is Kaveri water dispute. Conflict can sometimes involve two or more states. The Kaveri water dispute between Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. It is an example of conflict between two states. Kerala and the Union Territory of Puducherry are also part of this dispute. The Kaveri River flows in southern Karnataka and then to Tamil Nadu. Both Tamil Nadu and Karnataka demand a greater share of water from the river. In 1990, the central government appointed a tribunal, the Kaveri Water Dispute Tribunal, to look into the matter. The tribunal decided to grant an interim reward to Tamil Nadu, ordering Karnataka to release water from the Kaveri reservoirs to Tamil Nadu every year. This led to large scale violence in Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. The government again constituted the Kaveri River Authority (CRA) and the Kaveri Monitoring Committee to find a solution to the problem. After a series of differences and controversies, the tribunal delivered its final verdict on 5th Feb 2007. The dispute, however, did not end, as the four states filed review petitions seeking clarifications. Based on the directions of the Supreme Court, the government notified on 25th Feb 2013 the final award of the Kaveri Water Dispute Tribunal on sharing the water of the Kaveri system among the states of Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. The final award makes an annual allocation of to Tamil Nadu in the entire Kaveri basin. You know, students, between the conflict, Tamil Nadu and Karnataka, both the states need water from the river to meet their needs. This conflict was resolved when the central government intervened to distribute the water between both the states in a manner which was acceptable to both the states. Next topic is equality and justice. You know, students, that equality and justice are the key elements of our democratic government. Equality and justice are inseparable. Justice can only be achieved when people are treated equally. The government has therefore made special provisions for groups within society that are unequal. Have you heard about untouchability? You know, students, that untouchability has been practiced in India for many centuries. The group of people has suffered injustice like denial of education, transport or medical facilities. Even the chance of offering prayers in a temple was denied to them. Gandhiji, Dr. Ambedkar, and many other reformers realized that to provide justice, everybody has to be treated equal. Untouchability is now banned by law. It is a punishable offence under Article 17 of the Constitution of India. Equality and justice go hand in hand in a democracy. When people are treated equally, they get equal justice. In India, the government has taken many steps to ensure equality and justice. The constitution also declares India to be a secular country. This means that people of all regions are treated equally without any discrimination. However, some sections of the society that have faced discrimination for a long period of time need special privileges so that they become a part of the mainstream. For them, the government has made special provisions called reservations. For example, some seats are reserved for people of the backward class in educational institutions and government offices. You know, students, that women have been also denied the right to education and other privileges for many centuries. So the government has passed several laws to ensure justice for women and the girl child. Some states provide free education for girls till the secondary level. Income tax allows tax benefits for women. Girls can also claim a share in their parental property. The government recognizes the right to equality and special provisions have been made for the discriminated social groups, for women and children, especially the girl child. Article 7 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights states that all are equal before the law and are entitled without any discrimination to equal protection of law. In India, everyone is treated equally before law irrespective of their sex, color, caste, religion, etc. Okay students, thank you.